down to these dhotis, and they're a little short. Not short, they still reach the ankles, but oh. Okay, Bhagavad Gita study. In the Trevor, in the Kirtan book is a loose sheet, should be, which is the Gita Dhyanam, translated in English. Gita Dhyana means meditation upon the Gita. And we can repeat this together. Om. O Bhagavad Gita, by which Arjuna was illumined by Lord Krishna himself, and which was composed of 18 chapters within the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa. O Divine Mother, destroyer of rebirth, who showers the nectar of oneness upon us, O Bhagavad Gita, my affectionate mother, on thee I meditate. All the Upanishads are the cows. The milker is the cowherd boy, Krishna. Arjuna is the calf, and people of purified intellect are the drinkers. The milk is the supreme nectar of the Gita. My salutations to the Lord, who is the source of supreme bliss, whose grace makes the mute eloquent and the crippled cross mountains. Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay, so still in chapter 17, Yoga of the Threefold Faith. Trevor, it's a discussion, chapter 17 is a discussion of the faith of each of us being according to our own nature. And so we'll pick it up. We just covered over the last 2 days the what?
Sattvic.
What?
Personal.
No. What? What have we been? No.
No. Thought, word, deed.
No.
You guys talking about me?
Yeah, if you want to be.
It's a demoniacal, I feel like keeps.
Rajas, yeah, a lot of rajas. Demoniacal, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that tendency. But you're committed to transforming it. So, well, no, I mean, that's what it takes. And then the transformation happens if you're really committed to transform. Yeah. So, okay, guys, what are we talking about the last 2 days? Wake up.
Ego. Destroy false faiths.
Sorry? Yeah, but specifically yesterday and the day before. What? So we talked first about what they eat, the sattvic and the, yes? And then we talk about how they worship. And we talked yesterday and the day before about how what they practice as
Austerity.
Thank you. God bless you. Okay. Om. Okay. Austerities, disciplines. Discipline is a good way to relate to it, because I don't think we understand what the term austerity means. Generally speaking, I don't think we understand what the term. But discipline, we have some understanding of. Generally, we run away from it. But yesterday morning, a perspective that might have been helpful, which is if you want to do something, you're going to have to discipline yourself in order to do it.
Right.
Trevor, does that make sense? You have to get control of yourself. You have to marshal the resources in order to accomplish anything. Yeah? Because otherwise the tendency is either towards sleep, lethargy, or to constantly get distracted. And the goal changes before we get there. Right? Okay.
Feeling those this morning, both those.
Sorry?
Both of those, really experiencing those this morning.
Yeah, I got you. I hear you. And you came. Still you showed up, and that's the thing to do. So that has been the discussion yesterday and today. And specifically, what we've talked about over the last 2 days was the sattvic austerity or sattvic disciplines, disciplining what we do, so the physical, what we say, and then what we think. Yeah, so that's what you were saying: thought, word, action.
It's cool to hear that changing the thought doesn't start with the thought; it starts with the actions and the words. Was it?
Yeah. So because everything's rooted in the thought, dealing with the most gross helps you to get to the subtle. Right? So again, if you have a behavior that you don't like, and everybody has this experience. And by the way, everyone's had success at rooting out a behavior that you didn't like. Maybe not the ones that are really deeply rooted yet. But everybody's had success at some of this, yes?
Yes.
And so look at the way you do it. First thing is if you really are going to root it out, so drinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really going to root it out, then first you stop drinking. And then second, you stop talking about it. And third, you stop thinking about it.
Oh.
Is it true?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the same, and this is the order being given by Krishna on the sattvic austerity. So you stop doing that which is out of alignment, and then you stop talking about that which is out of alignment, and then you stop thinking about. But all of the process is helping to get to the thought, which is the root of the issue. The only reason you ever started drinking was because you were thinking about drinking.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then the action took over.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. And then through the action, the thought becomes stronger, and then addiction. And what's addiction but repetitive thought?
Yeah.
It's union in the thought realm, yes?
Yes.
With the object. So now can't think about anything else.
You never think.
Everything reminds us of it.
Obsession.
And even without something happening, the mind is going there, right? So yeah, and that's a tamasic.
Big time.
Yeah. So non-judgmental. You understand?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, it's Thomas. You said Thomas because of inertia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was thinking that
The easiest thing to do always is to fall.
To nothing. Yeah. Do nothing.
To fall. The easiest thing to do always is to just keep going down the river.
Oh. Yeah.
Just to fall.
Oh, yes.
Rajas is the force of standing up. Mm. Yes?
Yeah.
And sattva is standing in the light.
think about you saying, "You're gonna roll over and die."
Yeah. That's tamas. The
Yeah.
urge to just...
Yeah.
Okay. So, summarizing that discussion, when these three disciplines are practiced with zeal and sincerity and without looking for some personal gain, then this is pure... Sorry. I have to say sutra number because I'm being trained to say sutra number. These are the three disciplines of speech, mental disciplines. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're there. Number 17. So mukti is training me. So in some way, I am mukti's monkey.
Training the monkey. No.
And I'm perfectly happy to be. Mukti is our AV master. So we got a comment from one of our dear Sangha yesterday about how good the sound quality is now.
Yes.
And it had been horrid. It had been terrible. I mean, we had so many different things with sound quality.
Mm-hmm.
And but Mukti listens. Yeah. And provides feedback. And so a few days or so ago, he said, "Swami, it would really help if you would make sure to repeat the shloka numbers." Because he's indexing. He's taking these morning talks and putting them out on YouTube, right? And they're very, very well done. And very well done, very professional. Because the video is good, especially when I remember to push this button and zoom in.
Yes.
Also, trained monkey, I'm doing my best.
131.
And it takes discipline to do this, by the way. I have to, when I forget, I have to say, come on, you idiot, wake up. And I'm talking to my mind. Yeah? Come on, I'm not gonna feed you in the morning if you keep forgetting this. Discipline. That's an austerity. I'm going to fast, I say, but
It's hard.
the way I say it is I won't feed you in the morning.
It gets more confusing if that's a bad habit too, where you're like, "Come on, idiot," and then you can't talk like that either. So then you got to train that out.
No, you can talk to your mind that way. It's fine.
As long as it's the mind that you're identifying with.
But you have to do both. It can't be entirely one-sided because you have to have control of it. And it's okay to say, come on, get out of that rut. Come on, wake up. Come on, be present, for God's sakes. You're missing everything. And sometimes it does really well. And you say, oh, you were so good today. I'm so happy with you. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Lord, for the light. And thank you, dear mind, for staying present for the better part of the day. Oh, okay. Number 17. Thank you, Mukti. When these three disciplines are practiced with zeal and sincerity and without looking for some personal gain, then this is pure tapas, or pure discipline, or pure austerity. So now he compares the disciplines that are pure, sattvic, with the others. Disciplines taken on with the object of gaining respect, honors, or admiration are performed for show and motivated by compulsive desires, which is raja. Such disciplines are not dependable and in time fall away. The reason why is because what we discover, of course, is that whatever we do for ourselves doesn't satisfy ourselves. And so they won't be reliable. Okay, so Swami, for 30 years, always about getting ahead in business. But every now and then, tamas is there and it's like, why bother? And eventually it's, screw this. Because it's not doing any good. So all the disciplines that were, and in order to be successful at anything, yes, you have to be disciplined. If you're going to win a contract and you're competing with bigger companies and lots of more resources, like look at the war in Europe, and here's little Ukraine trying to save themselves from big Russia. Big Russia is pretty tamasic. And a lot of rajas. And little Ukraine is saying, I have to protect, and so you have to be focused, yes? You have to really be in control of yourself. You have to really be in control of all of the resources. Yes?
Yes.
You have to know where everyone is all the time and have to be on it. So it takes discipline, yes? So that's rajasic discipline. But in time, it will fall away because the goal really is happiness. It wasn't the goal. My goal, I thought, was winning a contract. And I won the contract, and I felt happiness for a moment. And then, good news about rajasic discipline from this perspective. Very good news. Are you off? You're departing, you're going back north?
I need to teach at the school today.
Oh, God bless you.
Yes,
Wonderful. Thank you for being with us yesterday evening.
thank you for
You're encouraged to come when you can come. Please come.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Okay, make a great day. Thank you, Trevor. Very good. So, rajasic disciplines, though, just from this perspective, We wouldn't say they're bad. We wouldn't even say the tamasic disciplines are bad. It's just they can be very dark. But the Rajasic disciplines can help you to understand how to marshal the resources in order to be successful, which then can be applied to spiritual path. When you really are able to hear that what you're seeking is inside, and here's what you have to do in order to unveil it, which is science of yoga, yes? Then the Rajasic disciplines can actually be applied. The single factor in the Rajasic discipline that is the issue, the only factor, can you pick up on it? Let me read this one more time. And you tell me what the one issue is with this. Disciplines taken on with the object of gaining respect, and don't rush.
Okay.
Hear the whole shloka before you answer, okay? And when an answer asserts itself inside, don't hold on to it yet, because then you won't hear the rest of the shloka. Don't say, I know. Okay. Disciplines taken on with the object of gaining respect, honors, or admiration are performed for show and motivated by compulsive desires. Such disciplines are not dependable and in time fall away. So what's the one issue with this?
Self only.
Self only. God bless you. That's the only issue. There's nothing wrong with it other than that. If you change the small s to a capital S, that'll take you home.
Good.
Yeah. That's the only issue. Because if you're going to be successful in spiritual path, you can't honor your fears, Hari.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be courageous. It's hero's journey, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to have to stand up. You're going to have to face them. You can't lose yourself to them if you're going to be successful. You have to be strong. You have to see what it is that you're working with, each one of us, that are the dominant tendencies that are veiling or tossing, and correct them and rip them away. Huh? And so the only issue with the Rajasic discipline is the little I. Doing it for the little I. And then Tamasic disciplines have lots of issues.
Hurts people.
Sometimes austerities are practiced in order to control, hurt, or destroy someone else.
Oh.
So this is why black magic, black magic. Why is it black magic? Not because of the color of skin or anything like that, but because it's tamasic.
Mm.
So all the stuff about the little dolls and the pins and all of this, those practices do have power, but they're very dark, very tamasic. And of course, what we learn is in trying to hurt someone else, who do we always hurt? We don't necessarily hurt someone else, but who do we always hurt?
Ourselves. Always.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why they get less and less emotional for themselves. Like they have no feeling after a while, so they need to do it more and more or something. They just have that lack of empathy or lack of love.
Yeah, this is very well offered, and this is common.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do we take stewing in our mind about a wrong that was done to us?
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's what this is. So sometimes austerities are practiced in order to control, hurt, or destroy someone else, or out of foolish obstinacy, just obstinacy, not going to do, or out of the mistaken belief that self-torture is somehow spiritually beneficial. Such disciplines are based on delusion and ignorance. Okay, moving on. The last of these, in terms of how to recognize the sattvic faith, Rajasic faith, Tamasic faith. The last is gift giving, alms giving, which is an interesting one. Did we see the truck that our dear Gopala brought to the children yesterday?
Wow.
He could not have brought, I put it out on the group.
Okay.
He could not have brought a better toy. They were so thrilled with it. And that was the first thing.
It's always good.
You know, he knew who to bring the toy for. He knew how to present it. When you give something to someone simply because you feel it right to give it, and there's no thought of receiving anything in return, and it's given at the right moment, at the right place, and to the right person, then it is sattvic giving. So we bring this up because it's a perfect example. Huh? Yeah. No expectation whatsoever of anything coming back. Then that's sattvic giving. And it's so beautiful. Isn't it? Isn't it? And then you have this tendency. Now, we also understand that you deal with some voice will speak up after and say, now what am I going to get from that? And that needs to be sublimated. That needs to be brought into the light.
I had kind of a moment with that the other day where it was like I wanted to give someone something and then decided to just leave it for them and not even tell them who it was from.
Yes.
There was the moment, it was like, man, they didn't even know they got it from me. It's like,
yeah, there you go. See?
it's like, that's even cooler. Because then it's just like, whoa, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
Who
So,
cares?
so what you see is a sattvic motivation within yourself. And catching this, you could spot it easily in someone else, but catching it within yourself as it's asserting is so helpful in terms of unwinding what needs to be unwound. Right? So that tendency is so pure and so beautiful, and so therefore sattvic. And then, but they're not even going to know. So now Rajas asserts. And then, I'm not going to do it again. That's Tamas asserting, right? Oh, there you go. So, and now you get to choose. You get to choose your storyline. You get to choose what you hold dearly and what you let go of, right? Jai. And whatever choices you make, it will take practice to integrate it. Yes? But if you see it and you say, I am going to honor this, and here's my resolve. Yeah? Then you're on your way. If a gift is given reluctantly or in hopes of receiving a favor or anything else in return, that giving is motivated primarily by the desires of a restless mind. So Rajas. If a gift is given rudely or without affection to an inappropriate person at the wrong place at the wrong time, then it's given from a state of dullness or tamas. Okay. Yeah, good discussion. I think we'll close there. And then tomorrow morning, we will close out the 17th chapter discussion with some discussion about Om Tat Sat. Yes, dear.
What if you're used to, doing, serving others, gifting others, and you do something purposely because you know it'll bring peace and security to another? Not expecting a reward, but the motivation, knowing.
Then that's Rajas too.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah. Now, if you do it for their benefit, and then allow it to be, but you say knowing that you're setting up an expectation. Are you setting up an expectation?
Right. And if you're not,
it's a fine line what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Trying to create something.
Yeah.
to stay humble.
So to stay humble. So in other words, don't avoid. Definitely give, because you know it will be beneficial. But that's very close to saying, I expect it to be beneficial. in this way or this way. Really what you're dealing with is that everyone that you're dealing with is peace already. Everyone that you're dealing with is love already. So if you engage in a way in order to give them a break from themselves, the little self, and to experience that which is higher, if you do it, but gift giving at the right time for the right reason, etc., will always do this.
Yeah, it's no expectation.
Yeah. So better to be able to do it because you know it's right.
So incense,
not because you expect it to have some particular effect on them.
Not to, even though you may know that it may.
You know that it
is
given in the right spirit.
Yes.
That it's beneficial.
Okay.
That's enough.
Let's keep it simple. Yes.
Yeah. Doing for others is very tricky.
Yeah.
Doing for others is very tricky. It's less tricky doing for the one in the form of the other.
Just look at it like that.
Yeah, that's less tricky. But doing for others is a helpful practice as long as there's not an expectation around it of getting something or even of them having a particular experience as a result of it. Right? So you expect them to be happy because you give them a gift. And therefore, if they're not happy, then is there a judgment that arises, and is there anger? And is there tamas asserting at that point saying, well, then I won't do it again because it didn't make them happy?
To really stay neutral and see the one,
I had something where I used to do a lot of art for myself, but then I got convinced where you need to sell your art in order to move forward. And then I hated that notion. But then once I started to, and then I got better at it, I still please people at the same time. After a while, I was making things that took a while to make, and then I always feel like, well, I didn't make enough money, so I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's.
So, do you see, as we discuss the gunas again, that notion, I don't want to do it anymore because I don't make enough money. So what is that? Of the three gunas, which is that?
I guess it's more like rajas.
It's rajas, right? Yeah, so, okay. So if you're genuinely working to bring yourself into alignment and have made a commitment to cultivate sattva, then you would hear that and you would say, I can't stop for that reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's close with final prayer and arati. Page 174. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Orvai Rukameva Bandhanan Mritor Mokshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Orvai Rukameva Bandhanan Mritor Mokshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Orvai Rukameva Bandhanan Mritor Mokshiyamamritat Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Shantu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyanto Makashi Dukhabha Bhave Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mritor Ma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art Satchidananda. Thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. Thou art the indweller in all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptation and to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, anger, greed, hatred, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember thee. Let us ever sing thy glories. Let thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in thee forever and ever. On below Satguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki, and for all of the saints and sages of all the traditions. Jai. Om Namah Shivaya. Let's rise for our tea.